Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Cauliflower Philosophy. I'm about to sing you the song of my people. Beautiful. First things first, I want to tell you guys a little bit of a story. So I was laying in bed a couple of weeks ago, right before a virus decided to hang and be a dictator and keep us all at home and ration toilet paper in our name. Right before that horrible time that started now, which we find ourselves in, which is also, by the way, the inspiration why I started doing these monologues and talk a little bit more on camera about certain aspects of Jiu-Jitsu. It's all going to turn back itself on fighting and martial arts and Jiu-Jitsu. But before all that, I have a little story to tell. A couple of weeks ago, I was lying in bed and it was 3 a.m. and I found myself watching a video about a man cooking scrambled eggs in the same way that somebody would cook scrambled eggs in the 1700s, was 1755, how they used to cook scrambled eggs at that time. Now the recipe is pretty straightforward and simple. You take 5 eggs, you put a pound of butter in a frying pan with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and a little bit of nutmeg, and 5 eggs. And that's how you make creamy scrambled eggs. Now, the thing is, at 3 in the morning, that sounded like an amazing idea. So I was not under the influence of drugs that time. But it sounded like an amazing idea. So eventually I fell asleep, of course, woke up the next day the sun was really high up, so I guess around 12 o'clock. And I decided, you know what? I should make scrambled eggs in the same way they made scrambled eggs in the 1700s. I took out my frying pan. I built a fire no, of course I didn't. That's ridiculous. I didn't build a fire. I took my frying pan. I took a pound of butter. I melted said pound of butter in a frying pan, and I added 5 eggs, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and nutmeg. I have no idea what nutmeg is, so I did put it in. And I kept it rather simple, made my scrambled eggs, and they tasted amazing. They were the best thing ever.
Amazing flavor, and of course it had so much wonderful butter in there to bring that flavor in, and it didn't stick in the pan at all.
But as you might have guessed, after eating that much butter at once, I immediately had explosive diarrhea.
Eggs came right out of that pan, so easy, and it tastes so good.
Now, how does this come back into my story? I decided at that exact moment, while suffering on the bathroom because of explosive diarrhea, that I should go to bed earlier. And I should wake up earlier. And maybe the things I see at 3 o'clock in the morning aren't the best ideas ever. So I challenged myself. I would wake up early. But because I am a ridiculous human being, I decided to wake up early at 5:30 in the morning and start training and having an amazing diet and doing all these wonderful things that are wonderful. They're great ideas, but of course I failed completely at every single thing that I wanted to do. I woke up the next day around 11 o'clock again and went to bed way too late and felt myself to be a little bit of a failure. And once I came into that spiral of, oh my God, I couldn't wake up early and I can't even eat straight and I'm never gonna be anything, that spiraled completely out of hand. Now, this might sound familiar to you. This might sound like something you have done before. Of course, everybody does this. I mean, who doesn't? Every time we want to change a habit, something comes in between and we feel ourselves to be a failure. Now, I want to address that. I tried to wake up early. Really, I did. And it didn't work out. I forced myself, and after that I started making excuses because who the freak wakes up at 5:30 in the morning and is still a normal and kind-hearted human being. I mean, those are not even Christian times. And more excuses started to pile up. I made excuses for the fact that it was impossible to do it. I made excuses and I started reaffirming myself simply because I had a very bad thing. And it was a fixed mindset. I could have sworn up and down that it is impossible to wake up at 5:30. And I realized that. I realized that because years of martial arts have taught me not to see things as an impossibility, but more as a challenge. You see, the moment I switched my brain and made that thing that was keeping me from being happy at 5:30 in the morning, which I still not am, it's still a horrible time, but I am proud that I've made it a possibility to do it. The moment I changed my mind and turned it into a growth mindset, my mind started to see it as a challenge. The same way when we are in jiu-jitsu and we're training and we're grappling, we're fighting, we're boxing and everything like that, that we see things as a challenge, it gets better. Now, with the help of martial arts and of course a very wonderful book by a person with a very weird name that I wrote down because I'm not going to remember any names, Carol Dweck. Carol Dweck. I do not know how to pronounce her name, so I will call it Carol Dweck. She's a psychologist from Stanford, and she wrote the book Growth Mindset. Now, it's a really good book, and you should read it, but the information in it seems a little bit obvious, and I'll show you how. If you've done jiu-jitsu a little bit, then there's a phrase you might have encountered in the way that says, in jiu-jitsu, you never lose. You either win or learn. Now, if you just lost and you hear that, the first thing you want to do is smack the person that told you this in the face. Because it's not winning, or because it doesn't make sense. I mean, you just lost and somebody, you never win, you lose like fucking Master Miyagi. And it doesn't work. And I'm sorry to say, but it's exactly that. It's exactly that. I mean, once you go into the thinking that, I lost because of this or that, and you blame other things for the losing that you did, and you don't bring it, you try to affirm yourself in the bad things in your incapacity to win. Let's call it an incapacity to win, but that's not the right word I'm looking for. Scratch that, forget what I said. Just say that you are affirming the fact that you can't do something. Now, once you get into that fixed mindset of affirming yourself, you're going to keep going. You're going to keep going to the point that you're going to say, well, jiu-jitsu isn't for me, or fighting isn't for me, or BJJ isn't for me, or grappling isn't for me, and wrestling isn't for me, or whatever else it is in life. You're going to hit that road and go like, something I love might not be for me. And that's a damn shame. That is a damn shame. I mean, if you do something you love, keep doing till you have that thing you love. Like, don't think small. Think immense. Think big. Now, I had a life-changing event in that bathroom that day that made me want to change. And we are right in this moment in life-changing events, and you are probably already getting into the rhythm of things. You're getting used to the things. That's great. Add something you always wanted to it. Grow more out of it. Don't see things as a challenge, or don't see things as how would I say this? Don't see things as a brick wall you will never get through. See it as a challenge. don't keep yourself in this mindset, in this fixed, horrible mindset that will just annihilate every single possibility of you growing. I mean, it starts off when we're really small. You know, when we have to solve a problem and it's an easy problem, we solve it and then we get praised for it. And then we have a big problem and we don't even want to try to solve that big problem because we know that it will show you show failure or something like that. And remember, failing isn't bad. Failing shows, in a sense, progress. You know what not to do. You know which way not to go. You should see it as a challenge. I mean, if you're in the middle of a fight and you have your certain technique that you're trying to do, you're trying to pull somebody into guard or whatever it is you're trying to pass and it doesn't work, you lose. But that losing is not a failure. It's a pure opportunity for you to go ahead and learn from it. I mean, grow out of it, grow better because of it. Don't see it as, oh my God, I lost and I'll never be good and I'll never pass and I'll never win a medal and I'll never get first place. And you know, it's not that. It's all in your head. It's all in your head. And most of the times we are our worst enemy in these things because we are going to affirm ourselves that it's impossible to beat certain people or to pass certain guards or to come every day to jiu-jitsu or to train every day or to learn a specific technique. And we're going to affirm ourselves the whole time. Like, I'm not flexible enough. And okay, there are physical limits. I mean, me telling you that you should have a growth mindset doesn't mean that if you train enough, you turn into the world champion, or if you, whatever else you do, if you try to learn the piano, that by the end of the year, you'll be Beethoven. I mean, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you can be whatever you want. I don't know your potential. That's unknowable to any of us. We don't know what we can grow into, but the beauty of it is we don't know what we can grow into. I mean, once you fix yourself in the mind, that's the only thing that's happening is you block and stop all growth. And while you should actually be enjoying the whole thing, I mean, learning from it. And it still sounds so cheesy. I know it sounds so cheesy. It took me so much time to get through to that. And training helped a lot. Training helped a lot. But saying like, oh, you can do anything about it. Yeah, it just sounds so, but it works. It works so good. I mean, if you have a growth mindset, like a person that truly believes he can reach a certain level, that truly works to it, that can achieve the next level or the next technique or that next belt or during the sparring session that you can finally beat somebody and be better than them and get better every single time. That is the growth mindset. Don't fix yourself on the problems and the problems. See them as challenges. See them as opportunities to grow out of it. The best example I can give right now is a movie, Matrix. And you know which one. The first Matrix, when Neo learns Kung Fu, when he's like in that seat and he's getting all that information pumped into his head. And by the end, he just wakes up. It's like, I know Kung Fu. That was my best Keanu Reeves voice ever. Let me say, I know Kung Fu, dude. Yeah, that's my best Keanu Reeves voice ever. That moment. And there's a sequence that comes after that where Morpheus and Neo, they fight. And Morpheus just beats Neo's ass, just completely. But as a good master, he sees that there's a potential to grow. He sees that there is something there that he's holding back, that he doesn't believe in, he doesn't trust in. So he tells Neo at that point, and I can quote the whole thing. I have to read more books instead of watching Matrix over and over again, but it's an awesome bit. And he turns to Neo and he says, don't just be faster. Believe you're faster. Believe you're much faster than what you are right now. And that, oh my God, the cell phone always, who is this? I hope you get explosive diarrhea and change your life. What was I talking about? You know what? I'm just going to cut here and there's going to be a segment because of post-production. They're amazing people and I love them and they are awesome. And they're going to post that little bit there and you can see it for yourself.
You're too fast.
Do you believe that my being stronger or faster has anything to do with my muscles in this place? You think that's air you're breathing now? Again.
Jesus Christ, he's fast. Take a look at his neurokinetics. They're way above normal.
What are you waiting for? You're faster than this. Don't think you are. Know you are. Come on, stop trying to hit me and hit me.
If you believe in it, if you believe you are faster, if you know you're faster, if you can do it, you are going to be. You are literally going to be. You're going to have this mindset of a champion, of a grower, of somebody that gets better. And if you get beaten, then don't fall back into a fixed mindset. Keep thinking, oh my God, I can't wait for the day that I beat you. I can't wait for the day when I avenge my loss, which sounds very poetic. Walking up to Peter, I shall avenge the day that I lost. Calm down. What you can do is very simple. Just grow out of it. Just have a growth mindset. This will give you the possibility to believe in the fact that you're going to one day beat the person that beat you, get better than your master, achieve a higher level. Because it's a challenge. And you take opportunity of challenges to work and be better. It's not failure. I mean, come on. It's not you yourself. You will never be a failure. Person watching, people watching, you are not a failure. You are very much loved. You're very much wanted, and everything is okay. This losing is part of the whole game. And don't think of yourself as a failure because it didn't work out. It's an opportunity. It's not a reflection on you. Failing and doing something wrong isn't a reflection on you. Personalities can change. Habits can change. You can change. Just grow out of it. And that's the end of my first video. This is going to be a 3-part video. And in all 3 parts, I want to thank the sponsors, which is Samantha Kortenbach, VFX Productions. So if you ever need horse dicks removed from any situation in your life, in any picture you've ever been in, if you get photobombed by something that is unsavory, let us know. We'll hook you up with somebody that can Photoshop your problems away. Also, I want to thank Grips. Grips has made me so strong. They are turning me into a monster. They're turning me, I feel jacked like the whole time. And the amount of strength I get and the teaching, Joris, the teacher, he's just an amazing guy. He's patient, he's knowledgeable, and he will turn you into an animal. If you need any kind of training, let us know. We'll hook you up. Or just go to his Instagram @grips020, @grips020, and they'll hook you up. Also, NSA with the flyest damn clothes for wrestling I've ever seen. For submission, for grappling. If you wear that, you immediately go from a low pimp status to a high pimp status. You will be the talk of the competition. I'll tell you what, those clothes look amazing. They look amazing on you. So yeah, guys, monkey tape. Almost forgot monkey tape. Monkey tape. It sounds so cool to say monkey tape. Monkey tape. If you have, like me, trained for some time, your grips are going to hurt. If you train a lot, your grips are going to break and your fingers and your joints and everything like that. Just put a little bit of tape on it and put a little bit of monkey tape on it. Man, that stuff is magic. It's probably like drenched in fairy blood or something like that, because that stuff will stick to you, and the moment you have to take it off, it will immediately come off, and it will give you the support that your fingers need doing those grips, you know, those when you have to hang on to these like animals that are out there fighting right now. That's what you need. Guys, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this. This is a 3-part series. Next part is going to be about Ultra Instinct. Oh, yeah. The stuff Goku went through. Exactly that. Ultra Instinct. You're going to talk about the series. Is it possible? Watch the next video. Thank you, guys.
So, explosive diarrhea, huh?